It has been a long time since we've had a guest on.
It has been too long.
Most people know him as the music guy for the Chiefs, the guy that plays all the music and everything upstairs. Reagan, welcome to the pod, man.
Yeah,
Hey
thank you.
guys, how we doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I want to know how'd you get into this position to be able to do this?
Well, it was, I don't want to say it was easy. Um, I'll back up to kind of my main motivation that led me into doing it, which pushed me into um, talking to some people is I love hockey, I love baseball, I love sports. I mean, those are my main two. In jobs that I have, I'm always thinking, like, how many games am I going to be able to go to? Like, or I have to have this night off and this Friday off, but I'll work all the other Fridays or Saturday nights, stuff like that. And I remember there was one time when I don't know, could have been 10 or 11. I remember talking to my dad. He'd said something about a scout that was sitting behind us in 202. And I don't know if I said it or he said it. Be like, wouldn't that be cool to get paid to watch hockey? I'm like, that'd be pretty sweet. And always had this draw towards broadcasting and PA and atmosphere setups and all of this NHL level production. And I always really love that and love these intense games. And so working, I'm like, I'm just going to try this. I want to get into this industry. I don't really know how. I had a friend who was going to college for sports management. Like, I don't want to go to school if I don't have to. So I started
Yeah.
reaching out to guys, emailed Boiler, emailed Reagan Bartel up in Kelowna, their radio guy, emailed like Dennis Patchen, and I think I even emailed Cowherd and Larry Weir, and just kind of asked these guys, give me some tips, give me some feedback of maybe what you guys went through when you guys were getting in this. How do I do this? Where do I start? And what I gathered from the majority of them was get your reps in where you can, doing whatever, whether that's working GSL games for football, volleyball, basketball, what either doing broadcasting or lights or music, or you're mopping the floor in the key. Just get in where you can. And if you're hunting for your dream job, you'll eventually, if you're lucky enough, you'll slip into it. And Boyle and Bartel and somebody else, I can't remember. They all were said that. And then um, they're like, get around like-minded people. The best place you can be is around people who think like you and want to be in the same place. I mean, you can bounce ideas off them and feed off of, what they do, how they got there. And it was what I was doing. And I realized how much ground I was making and progress in learning this just by talking to people. I was surprised. I'm like, Boyle, we ended up talking on the phone and had a short interview that wasn't short, ended up being an hour and a half. We were just talking. And I realized all these people are willing to give their time if you just reach out and talk to them.
Boiler's
Anyways,
such a
so
good dude.
oh, he's such a great guy.
So,
They
He's
just
really
like to
funny.
talk the business too. So
Yeah.
that's
We've
the
Yeah.
we've had
Yeah.
him on, I mean, 3 or 4 times now,
Mm-hmm.
and his son plays ball hockey with us, and so he'll come pick him up, and we'll just sit and talk Chiefs for like an hour and a half
Yeah.
afterwards in the parking lot. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a ton of energy, and it's funny. It's a little weird for me. Always listen to him on the radio. He was my main route of motivation, and he was that first guy that really kind of got everything rolling for me. So I'm sitting here. I basically sit on. If you're facing the Chiefs logo, you guys saw it. I sit kind of on the left of the red line, like right
Hmm.
there. And there's a wall here, and then Boilers on the other side. So it's pretty cool that some parts of the game, especially in the power play when he's louder when we're in the zone, I can hear him calling it live, not through a headset, not through radio, not through a TV screen. I hear it live, and so that was pretty sweet. So backing up, I think this was last October. Uh, I had shot an email to Jay Stewart. I said, "Hey, kind of the same thing I asked these radio guys: is how do I get into this? What do I need to do? What college classes do I need to have or a degree?" And I asked him if we could just meet and talk about it. And so we went across the street to the Wonder Building and chatted for a while. And he right there on the spot offered me, he's, would you be uh, interested in a backup music position, just to back up our main guy? And I said, absolutely. I mean, I, one thing I wanted to make known was my knowledge for these games and for these sports. I want to use that. I don't want to be hawking programs or selling tickets. I mean, I would, but I want to use my brain for the production.
Oh
My
yeah.
knowledge, like use it
Right.
for their advantage and for also my enjoyment. And so, backed up a few games for a guy then last year. Ended up doing most of the playoffs as well, because he also works for the Indians, and so that back and forth in the end of the season just gets so hairy, and being on grounds crew too is just you're getting yanked. Boyle had a couple of those
The
long
double
days,
headers.
yeah, and I
Yep.
did too, and so we were kind of in the same boat doing that, and so that was interesting. And so yeah, I did. I want at least 10 games last year doing music, and I started tinkering with some stuff and adding some new sounds and effects, and wanted to bring a different intensity and kind of my own twist on things, and got called into the office in the summer last year, and they offered me the full gig, and here I am. So
Nice. We noticed when the music and all that stuff changed last year. We noticed that too. It
yeah,
was very nice.
yeah, it's
Something fresh.
No
yeah.
doubt.
Well, and I think myself being a younger mind, a little closer age to the guys playing helps a lot too. and
Exactly.
100%.
that attention that I always paid, the detail that I paid attention to, and all these things. It's just I have a outlet for it now, and it may not be huge changes, but it's enough where I think, man, that would sound so sweet if I was a kid, or if that was just me sitting down here. Like that would be a great addition to this production, and it's great. I love it. It's a different kind of fun. At the end of the year last year, people always ask, well, do you like it better than being a fan? And I didn't know how to answer it. I'm like, yes and no, because
Right.
I'm not jumping out of my seat and clapping to the goal song, but we're still yelling and,
Oh
fist
yeah.
pumping up there for sure and getting into it. So, but it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say you say it's like, small little things that you would have enjoyed when you're sitting in the stands as a kid, but it's like I'll tell you that we've definitely noticed the difference,
We
even
did,
though
and we
it's like
noticed it last year
small,
at the
like
end
the
of the
little
year.
small things
Yeah.
with like just different songs being played at different times. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I remember even when I was a kid, like we would notice like patterns in like the songs that were played at specific
Yeah.
times with like
Yeah.
for the longest time it was Kernkraft 400 at the first whistle, the first period. Like I remember that specifically, and then stuff like that. So it's good to have a little bit of change so it doesn't stay, it's not dull after a while.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
you have to. I mean, for a while coming out for the intermissions, it was Here Comes the Boom, and then it was
Mhm.
For Whom the Bell Tolls, and you see all the Metallica records I got behind me.
Oh yeah,
Ironically, them playing that is what really got me into Metallica. And now you hear more Metallica, but it's not just For
for
Whom the Bell
sure.
Tolls. But um, yeah, it's just there's so much stuff that I was watching old Stanley Cup final games. One it was the Avalanche and the Devils, and I don't remember what it was, but they had that THX movie theme, that opening
Hmm.
theme play before the game. Like that's such an intense. The whole lineup they had with it went into Zombie Nation, and or maybe it was Sandstorm. I don't know, something like that. I'm like, well, that'd be pretty sweet. Well, I messed around with the computer. Lo and behold, it's in the computer, and so I used it a couple times last year, and this year I've played it a couple times going into like the third period. Um, but little things like that, or the "Are you ready's" before the face off, or the "Let's get ready to rumble." I just love stuff like that. The "Are you ready" little hit gets a big
Hmm.
reaction more than the rumble one, and I just want to get people more into the game. I don't. We were talking last night about the hockey purists kind of like that simpler style. Not just a crazy production. They just want to watch hockey. But I think the feedback from the fan shows is like we like some change.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like you're part of the game day experience too.
Yeah.
So it's like you
Exactly.
you have all these fans coming in with families and everything too who don't necessarily go to all the hockey games, and that kind of stuff will get them jacked up too, even if they don't really
Hmm.
understand hockey or anything too. It makes them make noise, and that'll get the boys going too. That's
Hmm.
the
Oh
best
yeah.
part.
Yeah, and I've had good feedback from them as well. I spoke with a few of them at one of the Skate with the Chiefs. I was DJing for the one out in Coeur d'Alene, and kind of asked them like, what do you guys want to hear? What do you think about it? You like this? And they're like, oh, it's been great. We're bumping to Coco downstairs and a couple times, and he said, yeah, it's going, it's good, and um, yeah, you just a lot of it is for the players too, especially for warm ups. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
there's certain rhythms and things you have to do. It just has to fit. There's certain songs you can't play after other songs because the ending of one and the starting other clash too
Yeah.
weird. And you could be saying I'm way overdoing it for a junior hockey game, but I treat it like it's an NHL game. I mean, it's my
No, for
production. It's
sure.
it's my art. I want it to sound a certain way, and so I'm gonna make it sound a certain way. And a lot of that, there's a lot of time in my prep before a game where
Hmm.
I start songs at different times, or if I don't really know where it's starting, I'll fade it in as it's kind of fading out. So there's a lot that I put into it, and it's just I love it, and it's a you work hard at things you love, and you just get so much enjoyment out of it.
It's nice that they've given you the opportunity to be creative and do that.
Oh, I think that's what they liked about it is I didn't I
Yeah.
didn't ask. I just started doing it, and they're like, "Hey, well that's different." You know.
Well, I was gonna ask, how much leeway do you have to
I was
like
wondering
pick the
that too.
songs, or like, is there like stuff that
Is there
you know
parameters
that they
to a
tell
degree?
you to play, or is it like pretty much just free, or
Yes and no. Um I might have one. We have these sheets that they show the time on the clock and what I'm supposed to play when, like Boomer always comes out at 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Right.
Obviously you got to play Let's Get Started, and then after they have songs for after there, like the hockey song, and I kind of phasing out of that, but I still play it every once in a while. And they have a set what they want to play for starting lineups and for the ceremonial puck drop and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, like the Bulls theme, I brought that in last year without really asking, and they ended up switching to that. And
Yeah.
so, it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission sometimes. But I try and stay consistent, and I still have the same shell of what they had when I got there. The bring them out, before coming out of coming out of intermissions. They always had that in.
It's a tradition for sure.
Yeah, for sure, and I like it too. And but I think the sheet still says "Here comes the boom" and "For whom the bell tolls" on one of them. And like, no, we played those two every second and third intermit, or every
Yeah.
intermission for a while. Like we can still sprinkle them in there, but we just got to have like that instance there. Those need to be hard hitting, in your face, fast songs, like because you're trying to get everybody
100%.
riled up. One other little thing I added was coming out for warm-ups was just the little bring them out lick. If you guys
Mhm.
notice that, I don't know how early you guys get there.
To be honest, I usually leave my apartment at like 6:40
Right,
because I live
get
right
right before the game.
downtown. So, but yeah, no, I like I said, we've definitely noticed like the little changes and stuff too.
Big time.
I still need to send you over that list of songs that I
Yeah,
put
do it.
together or
Yeah,
whatever. Because I mean, I have a couple of like suggestions that I think would fit well. I know a lot of other WHL and NHL teams do it, but doing I don't know if you're a WWE fan at all, but Triple H's theme song,
I yeah, I
"Time to
literally
Play
have
the
it right
Game."
here. I just put it in my Spotify list
Yeah. I
because
mean,
I think
I know a
where is
couple
it?
dub teams do that, but man, that
I
would be
think the
such a
AMs
good
used to do it.
start.
I don't know if the AMs still do it.
Vancouver
They,
does. We're watching the game the other day.
yeah.
Yeah, I have it right here. I just put it in my Spotify list. I was looking
Hmm.
at what time I would cut it to.
I feel like
Yeah.
we were always impressed with the stuff they played in Tri-Cities. Was when we first really got impressed with the other
Mhm.
places doing
And
different stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think a lot of that is just because we're into like hard rock music and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that
Could be.
mainly, and they played a lot of that down there. So that I do that's the one positive thing that I do really enjoy about the Tri-City organization is their music choice for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I haven't been down in a few years, but
Yeah. Well,
Not been worth it.
you got to have intense music, and it kind of depends on the crowd size. Last night, especially last night with the neurodiversity awareness night, I played some, really lighter music,
Mm-hmm.
more even through the third. Through the third, I'm normally way heavy, not
mhm.
necessarily heavy metal, but we call them big songs.
Yeah.
And I sprinkle a lot of those into the main part of the games, especially Saturdays, because bigger crowd. It's crazy how much I notice crowds getting amped up just from a few big songs, especially
Mm-hmm.
during the power play. Stuff like that
Mhm.
is what I started doing more of. We need some big songs coming into a power play, 5-on-3 with 5 minutes left. It's like we should be playing some in your face
For sure.
music.
For sure. And I'm sure that, you know, I mean, it's good to have like like you said earlier, like a younger mind closer to the players' ages to like
Mm-hmm.
kind of get
I think
their
that's key.
perspective. Yeah, it is. And it's the same thing. Like we said this a few years back with when we got the new coaching staff with Jake
Mm-hmm.
Toporowski coming in with, he's a little bit closer to like their age. I feel like it's a good to have like a healthy mix of stuff like that too. So even for the game day experience, it's a huge thing to have stuff like that
Sure,
too.
sure. So you talked about the patterns, so it's like rhythms or patterns of
Yeah.
songs that would start. So I have to be mindful of that as well because in my program I have all these windows and it's basically a hot what do you call it? Just a keyboard, and
Yeah.
there's 65 songs on this screen that I can move over into a queue or into all these sections where okay, this might be good in this time, this might be good later, this might be a good dance song for this timeout or you know. And so it's really easy when I'm setting up all my stops to just drag 10 songs from that whole window, you know,
Yeah.
but if the same guy keeps doing that or I keep doing that, you're gonna hear a lot of those songs clumped up
Repetitive.
together every
Mhm.
time.
Right.
And so I have to be mindful of that as well, especially for warm-ups too. I mean, I really try and play a lot of stuff, but there are a lot of songs that are very good for warm-ups and getting things ramped up.
Is that
Right.
all just your choice, or do you ever get input from the players what they would like to hear during warm-ups?
Yeah, last year I know they had put stuff in there. I don't know if they had an email go out to them, and they had a few songs for players that wanted songs on there, but it wasn't enough to. It was just you end up playing the same songs over and over and over. And I was getting feedback on that from people like, we can't be playing this one anymore. I'm like, they told me to play him. They told me to play him. But Coco said he was gonna reach out to his guys and get some songs for me, and it kind of never happened. But I mean, I guess no news is good news.
There you go.
But
No, that's cool though. And like I said, it's good that you're a fan too, and like you're a huge fan of like the team and the game in general too.
right,
Because I feel like that's a really big part of being a part of the game day experience for the fans and everything. And yeah, I'm sure you guys get rowdy up there in big games when they
yeah,
score
oh
big
yeah,
goals
oh yeah.
and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, obviously you're a fan. What's your kind of opinion on how the team is this year?
Um, well, you said what last week or the week before? We're kind of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up and down. It's just this roller coaster of yay
You
boo, yay
you
boo.
you start getting excited one week and then
Oh man,
yeah.
after that Penticton game last week, I was the
Yeah.
Oh
whole
yeah.
game, even after the first period.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a PA guy. I'm like, this is good, just great hockey. I mean, we're getting pucks in deep all the time. I mean, they're getting it in there and they're coming out with it. Their board battles are good. They're flying through the neutral zone. Their passing was on. Their back check was on. Their forecheck was on. I mean, it's just everything was right.
Yeah.
And go through the second period, the same thing, and it's just constant pressure over and over and over. We're finishing checks and we're seeing our line changes are good. And slows down the third. Blowout games kind of get like that.
For
Mm-hmm.
The
sure.
teams they kind of lay back a little bit, and that might be because you see your third and fourth line a little more. But coming out of the game, so pleased, and you go into
We,
Vancouver and you're like, first period, you're like, we got 20 shots going into Vancouver in the first period. You're like, I
right?
like what's coming. You're like, we just can't get the puck in the back of the net, and and then you come out for the second and the third, and you're just flat.
Yeah, it was so
Yes,
bad.
you run out of words to really explain it or describe it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to watch, and it it's frustrating for the team as well.
We talk about that all the time, sitting up and or watching at home too, about how frustrating it's got to be for them too.
Mm-hmm. And you see it, which I kind of wonder is why they take so many of these stick infraction penalties.
There's
They're
a lot
not
of those this
necessarily
year.
ticky tack penalties. It's just these frustration holds. This guy's going to blow past me, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just going to reach around.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. We
The
call
inc
on that every week.
the inconsistency is just astonishing because like
It's
yeah, the
baffling.
games with the games like the Penticton game where you put up 7 goals and you're skating hard, giving 100% every shift, and then you go into a game against, Vancouver and it's like, okay, on paper we should be dominating these
Right,
guys.
Yeah.
right.
And you come out first period, like you said, it looks exactly like where we left off in the Penticton game. And then something happened at that intermission. They just fell flat. And then it kind of switched back. Like I said a while ago, it's like there's two different Chiefs teams here. You have the
Mm-hmm.
team against Penticton, you have the team against Vancouver in the second and third period. It's frustrating. As a fan, it's frustrating too, for sure, because we know how good this team is on paper.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
projected so good at the start of the season too, and it's just been a huge letdown. I said last night we're going to end the season 500, and if we squeeze into the playoffs, we're going to be lucky
Mm-hmm.
to make any sort of noise in the playoffs with how inconsistent we are.
Right. Well, and you know who you're going to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's you don't want to play one game in Everett, let alone two,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll
yeah,
see. But it's tight. It's going to be really tight.
dude, the
Um.
whole Western Conference is so tight right
Oh,
now.
I mean, what are we? I think Seattle's what, six back of us now,
Yeah,
and then Portland's at I think three
Portland
ahead of
and
us.
Tri are at 54, Chiefs are at 51. But
Okay.
then, you're looking at like Prince George, they're
It's got the
11
put.
points. They're
It's got
11
the.
points ahead of us, and we're there in third place. I mean, realistically, if the Chiefs can piece together like 4 or 5 wins in a row, we're going to be in the top 4 or 5 in the division
Yeah.
or
It's
in the
got the
Well,
conference.
potential to
well,
totally switch around it after a weekend. Exactly.
we played Prince George twice too,
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are going
and
to be
so
huge games.
you bare minimum have to split that if you
Yeah.
want to if you need a push.
No,
And
exactly.
I mean, who do we play? Do we play Victoria more?
Yeah, I think we play them
Yeah,
one or two more. We
in
One
played
this
more.
month.
we play Portland this weekend down in Portland on
Yeah,
Friday. So
yeah.
that's going to be a big game too. And then
And
we've had
Wenatchee
success against them.
home and home with Wenatchee too. So I mean, Wenatchee is just down there with Seattle too, and so
Mm-hmm.
every single point matters. And we've been saying it up in the booth that man, this feels like a must win game. And when you're in this mushy middle, you got to win everything. You got to scrounge for points,
Yeah.
especially
No,
when it's all division games.
well, yeah, I think Boyle said that there's only like one more trip to Canada that they're taking the rest of the season too, and then everything else is in the US, whether it's at home or on the road. But I mean, those are all going to be huge games because I don't think we really play anybody else from the East this year. I think it's all conference games from here on out.
It is, yeah,
So, I mean, like you said, every game matters in the season, don't get me wrong, but like these games right now, when it's coming down to the wire in the middle of February into March, I mean, these are the games that matter if you're in a race, and the Chiefs are in the tightest spot of them all right now, with you know 9 points separating us from fifth place, and we're sitting in eighth right now with Victoria and Seattle on our ass. So, I mean, yeah, every point matters. It's frustrating seeing the two different teams that come out every other weekend. It's the inconsistency is what's really killed us this season.
Yeah.
And you're not going to execute in the playoffs playing like that.
Not in the
It's
slightest.
it's you have to have depth and consistency, and especially with goaltending. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's been iffy for a while.
it has.
Um,
It has. The whole team has been so inconsistent. Like one game we're putting up 8 goals, the next game we can't score a goal. And, one game you have a goalie making 40 saves, and the next night they get pulled after 3 goals on 7 shots. So it's the inconsistency that's going to really kill us. And like you said, that can't happen in the playoffs. But being a 25-25 team right now, it's just not where I expected us to be
mm-mm,
coming into the season.
no,
And
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 I
we
haven't seen a ton of change with our play either.
no.
me
These
neither.
on these slow games like we saw last night. I'm always yelling. I'm like, get somebody in front of the net. Get these pucks just toward the net. And it's just we're passing it around the umbrella. We're rimming it around, and they just push us to the wall, and we get choked out, and nothing happens. We have all
Yeah.
the zone time, and we don't
I honestly hope it was going to
produce.
get better once we actually named a full-time captain, and it hasn't changed at all. That obviously wasn't a factor. I kind of hoped it would be.
Have a
Yeah.
leader that
I mean, I think it's helped McIsaac for sure. I feel like he's played a lot better since being
I
named
agree.
captain.
I agree.
But overall, as a team, it
Team
hasn't really
wise, no.
changed. Yeah, and it's like I don't know at this point in the season what it's going to be that's going to bring that change.
And I know we sat up there wondering, like at the start of the year with at the New Year stuff, actually having Lauer back being our coach instead of being team candidate. We thought that was going to be a factor, and that hasn't make much difference either.
Right. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to turn on my light in my bedroom here. I have to control it with my phone. Um, but yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
when Lauer came back from World Juniors was I think that first game we were in Everett, and that was a game
Mm-hmm.
we played very good and
Very
spanked.
well.
It was 4-0, and that's again one of those inconsistencies of these points where like, okay, here we are. Are we coming over? Are we over the hump yet? Are we starting to get speed? Are we starting to figure it out? Because it looks like it for that
It
game
does.
and a half or a game and a period, and then something happens and you just kind of shrug. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
fun. It's not fun when you have the games like that against the Everett's and Pentictons, and you play a complete 60 and dominate, and then you go into games against Vancouver and Wenatchee, and you either choke away a lead in the third period, or it's a tight game that, on paper at least, you should easily be dominating. And I mean, looking at the schedule coming up this weekend, we're what 4-0 against Portland this year. So I don't want to go in and say that's going to be an easy win because Portland's going to be
No.
desperate too.
Right.
And same with Wenatchee. And Wenatchee's played us tough all year. I mean, even the game last weekend, I mean, it was pretty tight until the third period. So I don't have any expectations for this team anymore. It's just kind of like I'm at the point now where I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But it's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss all season. I think the most wins we've scraped together in a row were three, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 3.
So they got to figure out a way to get some sort of consistency going. And I mean, you made a great point to me last night. You said this team doesn't have any killer instinct.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to put it. It's like we're missing that killer instinct that we had last season with the guys that we had,
Yeah.
Pat and
Like
Crystal, Van
when you got
Olm.
a team down, put your foot on their throat. We talked about that last night at the game. And
Exactly.
we don't
Yeah.
have that.
No, we don't have any. Nobody on this team has that right
Not
now.
one individual and not definitely as a group. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a big factor in that too. Um, I really don't know what it's gonna take, but like I said, at this point, I don't really have any other expectations.
It doesn't feel like there's very much weight behind the sled.
Yeah,
Like people
perfectly
are
said.
jumping in, jumping out. This guy
Mm-hmm.
jumps in, this guy jumps out. It doesn't seem like there's like a group of guys that are really consistently excelling the team. I'd like to say that that warm old Sparks and Peter line has been our best line.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, first line played pretty good in Wenatchee. But I mean, if we're looking for consistency, I feel like the consistency from that second line is kind of all we have going right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is
And even
100%.
even on the games where we're not playing right, they're still getting breakouts or passes. I mean, who had that stretch pass in the game against Penticton? I think Sparks, that long pass to Wellman on
Yeah.
the breakaway.
Uh-huh.
When was the last time you saw a pass like that get through?
I know.
I mean,
It's
it was deep into last year with the big guys we had in offense last year.
yeah, but it's so you don't get that this year. And I don't know if that's part of it too as a fan, after the season that they had last year, you're expecting to see more of that, and then you get real disappointed when you're not getting that. But um but yeah, I mean I agree with exactly everything that you said. It's like the consistency and but I do think that that second line with Wormy and Peter and Sparks has been one of our best lines for sure.
Big time.
Um I mean they're all putting the puck in the back of the net too. And that's the other thing. The forecheck with the first line with Oremba and Armstrong and Gillespie, I think. Or I guess that's probably the third line, but I think they've been really consistent too. For the most part, I mean that's one line that I do notice every night. And so you need those guys to stay consistent and be those guys that will kind of get the team going. And it's just
We
I don't know
talked
what it's
about
going to
this
take.
a couple weeks ago. Those guys that we expect so much of this year were just role players last year. They didn't have to be the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And this year, they're looked at to be that guy, and they haven't had that experience.
Or you're missing them from injury, like Harrington.
Yeah,
I mean,
Man, that's
yeah,
Harrington played great in that Portland series.
he did.
I want to get your opinion on this too, actually, because it's something that I had noticed personally, and we talked about this in a previous episode too. I felt like Harrington has played a lot better, and he looks a lot more free since Preston was traded.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that too?
Yeah. I think Preston played at a speed that was too fast for our guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
He reads the game extremely well, and when you pair him on a power play, if the second line power play, you can keep Catton out there a little longer, or you put him with Ekstrom, who sees the game,
Mm-hmm.
extremely good as well. You can produce from that, but it's like it was too much for our players, and it was almost how many times do we see them making wacky passes to get the puck back to him, and
Yeah,
he's on the offhand on the wrong side of the ice.
Exactly.
So you wonder if some of the focus was turned too much on him, that he was going to carry a lot of that weight in it, and it never happened.
That's another thing that I noticed with that too. It's like when other teams start to pick up on what you're doing, they don't adjust and they don't try to change it. They just kind of try to force it through, and then the puck ends up getting blocked off the shins and going back the other way, or it leads to an odd man rush the other way. The and I don't know if that's something that the players need to realize or the coaches need to kind of instill in them. But that's another thing that I've noticed has been a really big issue this season.
I think the coaches try to want you to stick to the system no matter what. This is what they're thinking for sure.
Yeah,
They don't adjust on the fly very well.
yeah, but
But you got to wonder if that's not a product of not giving them a lot of freedom earlier in the year too.
Yeah, when you
yeah,
have these chemistry battles, it's kind of chemistry or ego or what have you. Because we saw Preston, I mean, you could tell he was getting frustrated a
Oh
lot,
yeah,
and there was some animosity between
you
some of
could
the guys.
you could tell
Yeah,
you could just tell, but yeah, by the body language out
body
there,
language for sure.
yeah.
and slamming the stick and kind of go. There's a couple times you see him go off on guys on the bench too, and it's like I don't know if that's really good for the team or if it's detrimental because have your arguably your best skilled player doing stuff like that, and then he's obviously frustrated because he hasn't been able to put the puck in the back of the net as much as he'd like to. Um, and then, but add in that with the injuries to our forward group the last month and a half has been so bad. We've missed Smith Redmond for sure. He's been out
Oh
like
yeah.
all
Mm-hmm.
year. I think that was a great pickup last year, and I was really looking forward to watching him play a full year this year, just stricken with injury. But then, our entire forward group, it seems, has been out all year at least once.
Mm-hmm.
And so Harrington, as of the weekly report that came out yesterday, he's down to day to day, so he could be back anytime. So that is
Nice.
good news. Um, but to go on with that, I do think that the guys that have filled in his spot have done well. I
Mm-hmm.
think the fourth line it continues to be really, really solid all around too. I mean, Buckley, I think Buckley's been so good lately. And Ethan Hughes, since he came back from his injury, that dude's a spark plug. Um, and so it's good to see the guys fill in those roles, but at the same time, if you're not putting the puck in the back of the net and you're not playing a full 200-foot game, it's the end result's not going to be good. So they got to figure out some sort of consistency here.
Burkhardt too on the fourth line. He
Yeah.
played. He was
Mm-hmm.
on the third line last night, and Sarkey was on the fourth line,
Uh-huh.
which I thought was kind of strange after how much Sarkinov played in that Penticton game.
Thought the
Mm-hmm.
same
And
thing. I noticed that halfway through the third period. I was like,
You
I haven't
commented on
seen
it.
him in quite a while.
Yeah, that was odd.
But yeah, Burkhardt, he's been. Yeah, I mean, I was stoked about that trade when they made last year, and I looked him up and saw some highlights. I was like, man, this guy could be, something that would really fit in on this team. And coming into the year, and he's been great, and we still get him for, I think, another year, maybe two, before he goes off to NCAA. So it's going to be interesting to see how he, comes out the rest of the year and into next year. But I mean, I don't really know what the answer is anymore for this team.
It changes weekly because we get excited and think here they go, and then
Yeah, and you never know how it's going to be this weekend.
yeah.
I mean, with Portland, you have such played Portland so well this year, so I wouldn't be surprised to see us come out on top in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
But then playing the 3-3 with the home and home with Wenatchee is going to be a big test. I mean, I'll say it right now, if the Chiefs can sweep this 3-3, boom, you're in
Right
a
back in it.
great spot. Now
Exactly.
stay consistent and stay beating the teams that you need to be beating.
Yeah.
I mean,
some
biggest weekend of the year so far, no doubt.
these are all, yeah, they're all big. And you want to note something that five there are 5, 3, and 4, like 5 3 games in 4 nights
Oh
coming
Hmm.
wow.
up.
Holy
So it's
hell.
yeah, it's this weekend is 3-3, and then it's 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 3-3.
Wow.
Jesus.
So, and you're playing tough teams. You're playing so Portland and Seattle, like they're rough teams. I mean,
They
they
are.
like to.
Yeah.
And so last night I was surprised at how little Seattle kind of banged us around. We know
They're
Yeah.
Seattle
they
drafts
were
for
big too.
size. They are
Yeah.
a big. They're always a big team,
Yeah.
and they're always just banging us around. And we didn't really see that a lot. Or as much as I expected. But Portland,
Same.
they're always they're
Yeah.
always a little dirty and nitty gritty,
Hmm.
and everybody's going to be playing like that. I mean, you look at who is in this bottom 8 or bottom 10 in the conference. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all these teams that are going to be playing and playing each other. Seattle plays Portland a lot. Seattle plays Tri City. We play Seattle and Tri City, to end the season
Mm-hmm.
3 times or four
Yeah.
times, whatever it is. So then you worry about, you talked about the forward group being injured. It's like you worry about the longevity of who we got now going through.
True.
And then if you do make the playoffs and get in, like
You're beat
how
to hell.
yeah, and then you got to face the number 1 team in the CHL.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of physical close games coming up. I just hope that the Chiefs can figure out a way to compete with those physical teams because we've noticed that the games that we come out and we play a physical game, we end up coming out on top. But when we
Mm-hmm.
let the other team kind of dictate the physicality, we just kind of cower and let them kind of walk all over us. So we need to match the intensity and kind of figure it out that way. I think that's a huge key is the dump and chase and the physical game. That I mean, we have the guys to do it. I just don't see why we don't do
Uh,
it every night.
And I feel like it engages the players better to do that too.
No
Well, you
doubt.
put a personal aspect in it, or
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Nasty Morasti was talking about,
Hmm.
you just chirp some random guy in warm-ups, say, "Hi, I'm coming for you," or if he's on your line, be like, "I have your number all night." It raises tensions a little bit and gives, there's an edge to it. And you talk about the physicality. That was one thing that I feel like we've lacked this year in general, especially since Parr's been gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's throwing the body around? I mean, Sarkinov's throwing the body around, but he seems to get in trouble more than it's
Right.
Yeah.
than it's a positive outcome. And there's games where we're taking nasty hits. Even last night, Sather took a funky knee
Yeah.
at the blue
Yeah.
line, and he went down hurt, went down the tunnel, and there was nothing, no response from the
Nope.
team, no hit, nobody even went up and said, "Hey, what's up?" There was
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
nothing, and if you're going to get pushed around like that, this is not going to end up well.
No, I agree. I noticed the same thing, and I feel like nobody even saw that hit because I looked up and I saw him down on the ice like right after they made contact, and he's just skating around, went right to the bench. Nobody even on our team
Yeah,
even like looked his direction. So it's like, you want to stand up for your guys for sure. So I don't understand, especially Sather. I mean, he's been one of our best defensemen all year.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
he's an
that's a
offensive
huge.
defenseman.
Exactly. And
It's like you got
so
to have those guys.
So it's frustrating. I feel like Coco kind of has a little bit of that in him, but not to the extent that Campar did. And but yeah, that's something that this team has really missed this year is a
Yeah,
Campar like player. Um, you look at what he's doing in Medicine Hat right now too.
Mm-hmm.
He's still playing that game and he's dropping the gloves every night and playing his role in Medicine Hat. Just clinched a playoff spot last
And
night.
that team is rolling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with a lot of the moves that we've made for sure. I think that one kind of came back to bite us a little bit,
Do you?
personally. Yeah. I mean, I know that there wasn't really a spot for him on this
Right.
team, but looking back at it now, I feel like that's something that you should have made a spot for, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I understand why. He didn't produce.
Right.
Right.
If you're looking on the score sheet, he just didn't produce
And the
flat out.
makeup of the
And
team changed. Yeah. Kind of trying to
right,
get more points like we had from the guys last year for sure.
yeah. I mean, what did he have? One goal last year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
two goals.
He had like two or three in the regular season, and then he had one in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So
And I think we're looking and thinking we were going to be missing lots of scoring from guys that left after last year.
yeah, and then even with the guys that we have that coming in that put up 20 last year, it's like they're not producing to that
Right.
same level. And I think a lot of that is because they don't have a guy out there like Catton who sees the ice so well and is able to find them to,
Mm-hmm.
put
Set
the
them
puck
up.
in the net.
Mm,
And they feel
exactly.
like they have to kind of be that guy to do it all themselves. And I feel like that's a big issue with our inconsistency scoring wise is guys are either missing the net completely or shooting it right into the chest. And it's like if you're gonna shoot, hit the net or at least make it close,
just
like
get it towards the net at this point.
exactly. But
You talk about captains that you talk. We've seen. I think the Chiefs. We've had a lot of D-man captains.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no
Um,
doubt.
you look in the NHL at captains that are forwards, that are quarterbacking. Mark Stone is a great one. Obviously, Sidney Crosby is another great example. Is that leadership is tied in with their skill and their offensive production. I mean, Mark
Exactly.
Stone. It seems like anytime I watch a Vegas game, Mark Stone's scoring
Mm-hmm.
one or two, and he's got two assists. And
Hmm.
they get out on the ice and they have this, what you guys had mentioned was that killer instinct of, we're coming at you. This is who we are. This is our fibers of how this team is made, is that we're going to score on you. Like,
Yeah.
we obviously had that last year, which is
We did. We got
which is
spoiled for sure.
great. And but I do understand when you don't have anybody, you know, quarterbacking
Mm-hmm.
offense. it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to give somebody a C for that if that's what you're going for,
For
But
sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think that's why it is important that somebody, you know, and we all thought it could have been Preston. Maybe he could have had a C next year if his offense blew up and they rallied around that. But it's just
yeah.
one of those factors that I felt like they're just falling on the Chiefs like a grand piano. It's just one after another.
It is. It is.
Injury, and it's a chemistry issue, and it's the consistency. It's just this all lump that is slowly seeped out and just piled on bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the expectations coming into the season was this team was going to compete for a championship, and we're not seeing that, and we haven't really seen that. We've seen glimpses of it in games like the Penticton game, but it's the inconsistency. I'm just going to continue to say it, but I mean it's that's the main thing. It's like you're sitting here, it's the 11th of February and we're 25, 25 and 1. That's not going to
Correct.
get you anywhere. You
Yeah,
came into the year the second ranked team in all the CHL and projected with one of the hottest offensive groups in the CHL coming in, and the lack of production. And yeah, like you said, it's like a grand piano falling with one after another, and the whole Preston situation. And I will say though, I do think the Chiefs did win that trade without a doubt.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Tyus Sparks, no pun intended, is a spark plug.
Spark plug.
And I think Howell is so good on the back end for
Yeah,
these guys too. And obviously getting a first round pick out of it is huge too. So now we have two first round picks this year. We were talking on our way out of the arena last night. Whatever happens, happens. If this team doesn't make the playoffs and they get a high draft pick this year, I think at this point in the season, I'm okay with that. Um, but because I think we have two first round picks this year, I
I think so.
think now after that trade. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's getting to the point where if they don't start kind of buckling down and batten down the hatches, it's just not going to happen.
Had we have been in this position at the deadline, because I don't think we were in eighth or
No,
ninth at the deadline. If we were here, I think we would have seen a fire sale.
I think we were right on the cusp of
It was close. It could have
it
gone either
could
way.
go either
Yeah.
way. I think when they had that really good week, I can't remember who they were playing that weekend, but they
I
they
can't. Me.
swept a weekend series right before the Logan Wormold trade.
Yeah, we were surprised at it. I remember because we thought the same thing.
And it seemed like that was kind of the point where Bardsley was like, okay,
See what how it plays out.
let's see what happens here. Let's get this 20-year-old captain of the Lethbridge Hurricanes to come in
Mm-hmm.
and see what happens. And I think he's made a huge difference, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it hasn't changed to the point where I still am unsure if that was the right decision to make with how the team is currently. But yeah, like I said, I think it really could have gone either way. I could have seen McIsaac getting traded, Mays getting traded, um,
A
like a
fire
guy,
sale, like you said.
yeah, like a fire sale, kind of replenish the picks that you gave up for Crystal last year. I mean, you could have gotten something for McIsaac for sure. But I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're gonna have so many 20-year-olds next year that we're gonna have to make a lot of moves this offseason anyways. So I don't know. That's another thing we could kind of talk about is who the hell are going to be our 3 20-year-olds next year?
Yeah,
Because I mean, you look at that McIsaac and Mays are probably going to be in the ECHL or the AHL.
I would
Um,
think so.
let me look up I don't even know off the top of my head who all of our guys are. I don't think VR will be back as a 20 because I think he's 19, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an '06.
Yeah. Um, so you very rarely see 20-year-old goaltenders, let alone European 20-year-old goaltenders.
Yeah,
Um,
especially already having Essler.
yeah, you got Viard, Howell, Mays, McIsaac, Coco, Ethan Hughes.
Redmond.
Sarkinov, Redmond. Yeah,
We
I
got
mean,
like,
there's so many, man, so many
yeah,
06s.
yeah.
So that's going to be another thing. It's like they're going to have to figure all that out and see if are we going to get anybody else in from, the guys who were going to go NCAA after that whole ruling change. And
Yeah, curious to see how that all plays out.
but I mean, there's a lot of question marks for sure. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to sell some guys off in the off season.
It
Who
makes you wonder
knows?
what next year's going to look like.
I
The
Hmm.
whole
know.
team. I mean, you think about a stark contrast from last year to this year. Like it might be another one of those big differences. I mean,
Hmm.
we're seeing a lot of guys being shipped out, and you got to move them somewhere.
Yeah, and again, who knows what's going to happen this year with guys that are going to
The
go to the
college.
NCAA too. I
Exactly.
mean, that's always a possibility too. I'm sure, NCAA scouts are going to be looking especially at the American-born kids like Sparks and Brody and stuff like that. So it's I mean, man, at this point last year, it's like we were looking obviously this team was so good, but we're still thinking like, damn, next year we could be even better. Because I think
Hmm.
during the offseason, I mean, I know we thought Catton was still going to be back this season. And he ended up sticking with the Kraken. And that I feel like that kind of put a huge damper in a lot of the things. Obviously, you're happy for him, but even going back to last season, we're thinking like, damn, this team's good this year. We're going to be better next year.
Yeah.
And it's now looking forward to next year. It's like who knows what this team is going to look like. I don't have any idea.
It's kind of like what it's like going into any game. You don't know what you're going to see.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
it's just a total coin flip.
Yeah, exactly.
You look
Exactly.
at teams. You mentioned that. We were supposed to be good, and on paper we're good. You blow the doors off everybody in the preseason, and you
Yeah.
look at you look at teams like Medicine Hat. It's like they didn't skip a beat
They
getting
did not.
back at it.
Yeah. Even after losing guys
And they
like
lost a lot
McKenna
of
and
guys too. Yeah.
Lindstrom.
Yeah,
I
but when
mean
you
that
have a guy like Pickford who's quarterbacking,
Yeah.
yeah.
there's a rare offensive defenseman that really leads the charge.
That dude's put up like what, 35 goals this year
A
already?
lot, a
As a
lot. Yeah,
defenseman, that's
yeah.
nuts. I don't know how he has not gotten more attention from NHL teams.
Because everybody was talking McKenna and that stuff.
No, didn't he got drafted, right?
Did he?
Yeah, I think he went in the fifth round or something. Maybe I'm mistaken
He should have gone higher if that's the case.
because he scored in the Memorial Cup. I'm pretty sure. Was it Bryson?
Bryce Pickford. Oh
Bryce.
yeah, no, he was oh yeah, he was okay, so he was drafted this season.
What
So he
round
was
was
a
he?
year late. I think that's where I was
Okay.
all used. But yeah, he was drafted in the third round by
Yeah.
Montreal.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, after seeing him in the Memorial Cup or the whole playoffs, I mean, he tormented us in that
Hmm.
championship
God, yeah, he
series.
did.
Yeah.
Cover the guy. We just kept leaving him wide open. Like he totally earned a spot.
Oh, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 goals, 29 assists, 62 points in
That's
42 games
crazy.
as a defenseman.
In 42 games.
42 games.
Man.
That is bananas. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of guy that can make the biggest difference on the team, and that's the thing with the Chiefs. It's like we don't have that guy this year,
Yeah.
and I think we all thought it was going to be Berkeley again because I thought we thought we were going to be
We
getting him
did.
back,
And we
even
thought he was going to bring Preston up with him.
for sure. And it's
Yeah.
just none of that panned out. Obviously, Catton's doing great with the Kraken, so I'm not going to be too upset about that, but. Um, yeah, we're just missing that guy for sure. And so at this point, you need everybody to kind of band together and try to figure something out going into the late stages of the season.
You just want them to find an identity, a strong, firm,
Exactly.
Very
unwavering,
exactly.
unchanging identity.
Exactly.
And you just want to see improvement like with every team.
Yeah, no doubt
It's
about
it's
it.
just a strong you want to see improvement. I mean, it's junior hockey at the end of the day. It's these are kids. I think we had talked about in the press box. This is still high school hockey to
Yeah.
some
For
degree.
To a
sure.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and these guys are young, so it'll be interesting. And it's a lot of pressure, especially with the expectations as high as they were.
And
Mm-hmm.
us as fans, we forget that they're kids sometimes because
We
they
talk
play
about that.
like
Yeah.
they're, you know,
You,
NHL level
you look at
sometimes.
the
So
size
it's
of them and you forget that they're 18, 19 years old and younger.
yeah, no doubt about it. That's really all I got to say. Do we have anything else to add on here?
I think that'll do it for me.
Not that I can think of.
Well, thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
bro.
thanks
Like
for doing
Yeah,
this.
thanks for having me. This was fun.
yeah, dude, seriously, you're welcome anytime. Like
Anytime.
Okay, I'll take
we
you
were
up on
just
that.
talking last night. We were like, it's getting tiring doing the same thing every week and just going back and forth saying like this team is mid, we win, we're doing good, we lose, what the hell happened?
Yeah,
It's just like
Yeah.
the same thing. So
There's nothing exciting to talk about this season, really.
it's nice to get an extra voice in too and get some like outsider opinions and everything
Yeah.
too. So yeah, for real, anytime, dude.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I love hockey talk. It was my first time on any podcast, so
dude, yeah, absolutely. Anytime, for real. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
try to get some guys on, like some of the players on here in the near future too.
for
So
sure.
we'll
I
get all
think,
that
yeah.
figured out.
I
But
think Burke said he would come and do it during the Olympic break, possibly.
yeah,
And
so
who did I reach out to? That played with the Chiefs.
Kitchen.
Yeah, Brendan Kitchen said he would come on sometime this month too.
Yeah, so we'll get all that stuff figured out, and you're more than welcome to join for that too.
Exactly. Get 4 windows up on the screen.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Even it out a little bit.
Exactly.
All
Be a
right,
full
boys.
panel.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
thank you for doing it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
yeah,
Thanks, guys.
and we'll talk to you later.
All right,
We'll see you this weekend at the game.
All righty, go Chiefs.
Go
Go
Chiefs.
Chiefs.